Hello and welcome back to a Minecraft Odyssey. Hope you're ready to enjoy some amplified survival Minecraft. It's good to see you back on this beautiful spring day. And man, oh man, am I happy for spring to be here. I don't hate the winter. I enjoy the holidays, but by the time it gets to the end of winter, ooh, pumpkin, let's get. By the time it gets to the end of winter, I am ready to be warm again. I'm kind of tired of being cold, and yeah, I really like March. March is a good time. I've been collecting some pumpkins recently because we do not have much glowstone. Our nether is really bad about glowstone generation. Lots of quartz. Can't complain about the quartz, but this is all the glowstone in like a 500 block radius around our portal. It's pretty ridiculous. Although I did make a lot of redstone lamps. I've used quite a bit of those, although I don't know where I've stored them. Yeah, so I've been using jack-lanterns to light everything up. Oh yeah, I'll show you this little place right here. So I have been doing a lot of book enchanting. And I kind of ran out of room, so I needed some more inventory, and I've hidden some chests right here. And I just used some backwards facing stairs so that we can easily access the chest. So some cool little additional storage there. Makes it a lot easier to access the crafting table as well. But the way I have this organized now is that I have all the top tier enchantments down here on bottom. So this is all the good stuff down here. And up here are all the lower tier enchantments. Most of the time, I'll end up actually enchanting a lower tier book, like a tier 1 or tier 2, and then I'll combine those into higher tier books. And so that's what I do up here, and when they get high tier, we're storing in there. So that's how it works right now. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Zombie Super Mob Farm. I have done some work down there, got a good idea of what the look we're going to go for. I've been messing around. I don't know if you can tell from right here. Yeah, you can. I've been messing around with some floor designs. Gosh darn it, get off that ladder. Let me turn the mob farm off. Ooh, micro lag. Yeah, so I messed around with the floor design a little bit. We have to use half slabs here, remember, because we're trying to keep mobs from spawning in this area by using the half slab. So we're kind of limited on our building materials. And I just went with a sort of scattered cobblestone and stone brick look, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not super complicated. Let's get back up here. It's not a super complicated pattern or anything. It's just messy pattern, but it gives it a lot of texture. I like it. But what I really like down here is the way these leaves came out. So these bushes that I have wrapped around these pillars, I really like the way that looks. I think that's going to sort of set the tone for how this area is going to look down here. By the way, I wanted to give a quick building tip here when it comes to building pillars like this and wrapping leaf blocks around them and making it look good. If you take a close look at this, you'll notice that I actually replaced a few of the pillar blocks with leaf blocks, as opposed to just putting the leaf blocks on the outside of the pillar. And the reason I did that is it makes it look not like it's growing on the inside, but like it's growing flush with the pillar, and it just looks a lot more natural, a lot more aesthetic. And the reason I mention this is because I notice a lot when people try to do stuff like this, they end up doing something like this over here, where they just put all the leaf blocks on the outside. And it just doesn't look right. It's either, I don't know if it's too bulky or like too cartoonish looking or something, but I think it looks a lot better when you make it go like flush with the pillar. And it's pretty easy to do. You just replace a few of the blocks with leaf blocks. And yeah, it's one of those little details where it's, it's a small thing, but I think it makes a big difference. Makes it look a lot cooler. So moving on from the Zombie Super Mob Farm, what is on the itinerary for today? Today, I think, is a good day to start another big project. And there are a couple of big projects in mind that we have been putting off that just simply need to get done. A couple of automated farms that we just simply need to build. We've been putting them off for too long. One of them is the Endermen Farm. But the thing about the Endermen Farm, I actually want to hold off on it for a little bit longer because there are a lot of rumors coming out about the 1.9 snapshots. Everything is indicating a major change to the end, and some people are even theorizing that there may be new features added to the end that we can't get unless we reset the end. So I'm really hesitant to do a whole lot of work right now in the end until the 1.9 snapshots come out. And once those come out, we'll have a much clearer picture about the changes and what's gonna, if we have to reset the end or something like that. So I'm gonna hold off on that for a little bit. But one other thing that we just simply need to get done that I've been putting off is the slime farm. And the reason I've been putting that off is just because there's nothing new. It's like you've seen one, you've seen them all. slime farms aren't terribly exciting anymore. But we just need to get it done so we can move on to some more exciting stuff. And I have been doing a whole bunch of clearing out of land down here by the gear shop. Looks a little bit different. But in particular, over here is the slime chunk. And it didn't take too long to clear it out because, you know, we got haste 2 beacons and efficiency 5 pickaxes. Lots of diamonds, though. That's the one thing about using haste 2, that the real downside. Everything goes super fast, but man, you just burn through diamonds like nothing. But I got it done here. And watch out. Now, the interesting thing about this slime chunk is this is literally directly under one of the wings of the zombie sweeper mob farm. So that means we're going to need to be able to easily turn this farm off and on. And so when it comes to designs for slime farms, the one I'm leaning to the most right now is Milky's bioreactor. That's the one with the diamond-shaped pads, and you can easily turn it off and on using water. And I think that would look really good, and it would also be really useful. It'd work the best in this area just because we're going to need to be able to easily turn it off and on. But let me get some stuff set up here, and then I'll better explain, you know, what the plan is. Alright, so we have got a few of these spawning pads set up now, so I can kind of better explain the way this is all going to work. We're going to do something a little bit different than the way the bioreactor is done, by the way. I figured out something pretty cool. We're going to do the water in a little bit of a different way, but I'll explain that in a little bit. First, we'll talk about the spawning pad level. So the bottom spawning pad level is going to be at Y level 14, and we're going to space them out every 4th block. So there'll be a spawning pad, then 3 blocks of airspace, and then another spawning pad. And the highest one will be at Y level 38. And altogether we will have 6 spawning pads, I think. And I think Y level 38 is the... What you doing up here? Trying to get to me up the staircase, that's funny. I think Y level 38 is the highest you can have the spawning pad, because slimes can spawn between Y level 0 and 39. But that is the airspace, right? That's not the spawning pad itself. If you put the spawning pad at Y level 39, the airspace will actually be at Y level 40. Which I believe is too high. I should have looked that up. I'm going by memory, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. But either way, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have 6 spawning pads. And I left, you know, a sizable gap down here at the bottom because I don't think I'm going to kill them in the same way, like using the iron golems and stuff. I don't know. I really want to do something with them, like transport them somewhere. There are issues with that, though, now because slimes despawn so much faster than they used to. So I haven't really decided how we're going to kill them yet. But I've left plenty of room down here. But let's talk about the way the water is going to work. So if you've ever seen Milky's design before, which I'm sure you have because lots of people have used it, down the center of all the spawning pads is a line of a piston line of redstone chained together, and at every level 4 dispensers get activated with water coming out and landing on fence gates, and then it spreads out over the entire spawning pad. And so altogether, if you have 6 spawning pads, that's going to be 24 dispensers, 24 buckets. And then you're going to need the redstone blocks and the pistons in the middle. And I was thinking maybe there's an easier way to do that. I don't think we need to do this whole thing. I had this whole demonstration set up. I didn't even demonstrate. Oh yeah, I was supposed to demonstrate as I was talking. But yeah, that's the way it works. So there's one of these things at every level. But I was thinking, you know what, we don't really need to do that. And it turns out we don't. There's sort of a clever way we can do it just using water mechanics. To use a single water bucket to light up the entire spawning pad. So the way this works is we've got these gaps right here where the water can flow. The water will come down, it will hit the fence post, and then it will spread out in all directions. And when it hits these slabs on the bottom, it'll go both directions. It'll spread out this way to cover the spawning pad, but it will also come back in and go down and hit the next fence post, and then it will just repeat that process. So pretty cool. Let me demonstrate it though. Get that back up. I got a little viewing platform over here. Where's it at? There it is. Over there. And let's get our bow and arrow. And we'll see the way this works. Nope, too high. There we go. And it hits those slabs, spreads out, and then it just goes down. And so that's going to allow us to light up the entire spawning pad using only, or all the spawning pads using only a single bucket of water. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a nice little modification to the design. I think it should come in pretty useful. It definitely saves you a lot of resources. You know, you don't need the 24 dispensers, 24 buckets. But that's the way we're going to do it. I'm pretty happy with that. You know what, I was looking back at the video there, and for some reason I kept on saying lighting up the spawning pads instead of covering them with water. I don't know why I was saying that. It's stuck in my head. I'll probably end up saying it again. But I think you guys get the idea, right? But anyways, the more I look at this, the more I like it. You know, the whole one water bucket thing is pretty cool. So I figured I would go ahead and build one of these spawning platforms on camera, so that way you can do it yourself if you want to. And they're all the same, except for the bottom one. So let's go take a look at that bottom one. The bottom one just simply doesn't have a hole in the middle of it. And we just have this half slab cross here. And by the way, we need these half slabs here to make sure that the water spreads out far enough. So for example, if I remove one of these and put down some water, you'll see that it stops 1 block short of the edge. Oh no, my half slab went away. But if we put down something else and then put the water on top of that, that will make it all the way to the edge, and it won't fall off either. It will be the perfect distance. So by the way, I'm sure some people will mention that we could use a full block here, and we certainly could, and that would also give us another spawning space. But the thing about it is this will also interfere with the spawning at the lower level, right? So this is no longer a valid starting position for any of the spawns on this level. So I'm not really sure which hurts the efficiency more, a full block interfering with the spawns on this level, or a half slab, or half slabs taking up a few of the spawning spaces. It's probably about the same. I'm just using half slabs because I like the way they look. Grab that ender pearl again. And let's try to get up here without flying off the edge. Maybe like that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, whew. Oh, that went really high. I can't believe we... Really? Wow, I did not think we... Oh, and there's an endermite. Now, I really hope those things start dropping stuff or something, or they do something more interesting with them. But anyways, back to the topic. Let's start building a spawning pad here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a dirt block down here, and we want to put a 3-block space. So 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th one is where the next spawning level is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and throw down a little dirt cross. And I'm doing this because these 4 spaces on the edge here, we need them to stay open air spaces so water can flow through. But then on each of these little directions here, we're going to use the block of your choice, and we're going to go 1, 2 out, and then throw down whatever light source you want to put. I'm going to use glowstone, and then we're going to do 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to do that for all 4 directions. Okay, so once you've got all 4 of those directions done, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start filling this in a little bit. So, ooh, no, with the cobblestone, with the other one. Cobblestone's a little early. But yeah, I'm going to fill this in just a little bit on all sides, like that, and there, and then right there, that's good. And then on top of these dirt blocks, we're going to place another half slab of whatever block you want to use, and we're going to leave the open middle here. And it's important that you don't put anything in these dirt blocks. We need these dirt blocks to stay open space, so that way the water, when it hits the top of the fence post, can flow out in every direction through that open space. And then after that, let's just fill in the rest of the spawning pad. Alright, so after connecting all 4 directions with this diagonal pattern, you should have a diamond-shaped spawning pad. The next thing we need to do is we need to knock out a few of these dirt blocks, and then place down a fence post right at that level where, and remember, just to reiterate, that needs to be open space right there to allow the water to flow out in every direction. So for example, if I put water down right here, you can see it can flow out in all those directions. If we had solid blocks there, or any block at all, the water would just stay on top of the fence and it wouldn't go anywhere. Pick that back up. And then finally, we need to get rid of the rest of the dirt blocks, and then just rinse and repeat and move on to the next level. And that's the way it works. Alright, so I have gotten all those spawning pads built and ready to go, and I just wanted to give you an idea of where the slime farm is at underground here in relation to the mob farm. So that's the zombie sweeper mob farm right there. And if we just come down this way and come right over here, and you'll see the spawning pad. So it is directly underneath one of the wings of the spawning pad, or of the mob farm. And look at all those slimes down. It's already producing a ton of slimes. Man, that is a death trap. You gotta be careful. I fell off a couple of times building this thing and just about got massacred. Man, you know what? You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? How they despawn so fast now? in the past, those big slimes would have stayed around for a long time, and you could do a whole lot of stuff with them, and they just despawn right before our eyes. So that's what I really, really want to do something with them, but watching them despawn that fast just makes me really hesitant to do that. But back on topic here, let me show you what it looks like when all the water pads start going and everything. So I'm going to try to hit this button and then ender pearl down to the bottom before the water makes it there. Right there. Yeah, that's a good shot. And we can watch it flow down. Should be coming here any second. And there it goes. And I jumped down so you can't see it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the way that works. You know, the whole one water bucket thing is a neat concept. But what I need to decide right now, I'm still hung up on, is what to do with the slimes. As I mentioned earlier, we saw those big slimes despawn rather quickly, which is kind of disheartening. Yeah, so I might just end up putting in a killing system that kills them really fast. You know, something with like the lava blades and iron golems or something. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. While I'm thinking about what to do with the slimes, why don't we go ahead and work on something else? And there's some stuff that needs to be done in this area. You can see it's already changed quite a bit. The lava blade is gone and everything, and I'm thinking about what to do in this area. It's going to be a bit different. I think we'll probably end up putting like a proper gravity drop or something. But before that, what we need to work on is getting the slime farm and the zombie sweeper mob farm hooked up so I can easily turn them off or on, just like with a flip of a lever. And you know, we were talking about putting that control room down here in between the two, but I realized that's not really going to work because the way to turn the zombie sweeper mob farm off, ooh, that was some some lag going through the beacon light, that was weird. But the way to turn this farm off is up here, right? So, and I don't really have a good way of transmitting redstone from somewhere down here to up here because it's all very decorative, right? There's not really anywhere to hide a redstone line. So instead, I think what I'm going to do here is I come up with an idea, and I'm just going to link them together and make them asynchronized. Right, so whenever I turn the zombie sweeper mob farm off, it will then automatically turn the slime farm on. Or whenever I turn the zombie sweeper mob farm on, it will automatically turn the slime farm off. Because these are going to be the only two hostile mob farms in the area, so I'm always going to want one or the other on. I don't really, you know, foresee a situation in which I'd want both of them off. And I did some digging over here, and this is cool. Okay, so this is one of the wings of the farm right here. And perfectly centered with the middle of the farm is the middle of the slime farm. Oh, that is, you know what, let me zoom in here. That is so awesome. Like, I didn't even plan for that. You gotta love when things just serendipitously work out like that. But it's perfectly lined up. Can I get over? Oh wow, that looks like some sort of optical illusion or something. Yeah, that's cool. Whoa, I feel so short. Oh my gosh. I feel like a little person. Why does this make you feel so short? Oh, that is strange. Okay, need to go back to normal field of view. But yeah, so what we're going to do here is I've dug up to... Here, let me cover that back up so I don't fall down. I have fallen down that hole already. No surprise there. But I have dug up to the... I don't have any blocks on me, do I? Got some wood. The center part of this farm. And we have redstone line going over the top of those logs right there to light up the lamps, which turns the farm off. And what I can do is put a piston there that will get powered and then have like a redstone block, and that will power the dispenser, and then the dispenser will just drop water down from way up here right through this hole and then cover up that farm. I think that will work out pretty good. But let me go get some let me go get some pistons and stuff. Okay, so I've got that set up. And there is a piston above that redstone block. You just can't see it right now. So whenever I turn the zombie sweeper mob farm off, this redstone block will be extended, powering the dispenser. But whenever I turn it back on, it will retract that redstone block. Now we still need to modify this a little bit. So I put up a little demonstration over here to explain what we're going to do. Right now, as it is, it only activates the dispenser every time the redstone block extends. Right, you hear that click right there. But we actually need it to activate not only on the leading edge, but also on the falling edge. So we need it to activate when the piston extends and when the piston retracts. So how we're going to do that is we're going to update it by just putting a piston right here, extended, with a cobblestone or just a block next to it. And this will make it fire on the leading edge and also on the falling edge. So you can hear it click twice there. And the reason this works, I figure I'll go ahead and explain this because it can be a little bit complicated. It's not always so obvious what droppers or dispensers are thinking, if whether or not they think they're powered or not. So what is happening here is when this extends, obviously when the redstone block touches the dispenser, it knows it's being powered. If I get rid of this block right here, when it's being retracted, what happens is when the redstone block is retracted, that updates the dispenser, telling it that it's no longer being powered. But once it comes to a rest up here, it's actually being powered, but it doesn't know it because it hasn't been updated. And that's what the purpose that this serves right here. So this is extended to update the dropper, or the dispenser in this case, to tell it that's being powered again. Alright, so I already set it up. Let's go ahead and make sure it's synchronized properly. Right now, the mob farm is turned off, and there's no water going down onto the spawning pads. So that means the slime farm is turned on. So that's right. So now if we turn the mob farm back on, man, I always get a little lag when all the lighting updates. And then go down here and check. The water stream should be going. That is correct. So when this mob farm is on, the pads for the slime farm are being covered with water. And let's just go ahead and do one more rotation to make sure it's working properly. Okay, so this farm is turned off. Slime farm should be on. Means no water. No, that's not correct. Why did that not shut off? What happened? What happened here? This piston did not get retracted. Why did that piston not retract? Huh? Oh, that's right. I covered that up. No, the piston is up here. Yeah, it's extended. Right. Yeah, now why didn't that piston retract? Oh, I'm drowning. I was like, what's getting me? Here, let me figure this out. I did something wrong here. So I know what's going on here. There is redstone on top of these logs right here. So if I break this right here, we'll see there is a line of redstone there, and that is keeping this piston powered. So I think I can fix this just by replacing that piece of redstone with a repeater. Get rid of that, and then, oh, nope. Okay, let's do this before mobs start spawning. Get rid of that too. Go from this direction. There we go. All right. Oh, and I broke the carpet. Let me fix that. So we need carpet on top of this repeater. By the way, if you don't remember, the reason this carpet is here is so that baby zombies can't move side to side. Because the baby zombies are the best pushers out of all the mobs. Like they go so fast. And if you don't have something like carpet or half slabs right here, what will happen is the baby zombies will just run down the middle lane and they won't push any mobs. So the carpet's there to keep the baby zombies over here. But a little refresher. I'm pretty sure I've explained that before, but let's go ahead and fill this back in. Need a piece of carpet on top of that piston. And then let's cover this up. Like that. No, not like that. Like that. Alright, now let's make sure everything is going correctly again. This should work now. Let me put this bucket back in there. I'm going to cover this up with water there. Open that up. And alright, so right now this mob farm is off and the slime farm is on. That is correct. Let's turn this farm. Oh, I need to fix this ladder situation. It's so awkward. Let's turn this farm on. And that should cause water to cover up the slime farm. Pop down here. And there's water. Let's do that again. Oh, please work. Let's go ahead and turn this farm back off. Check to see that the water is off. So, okay, slime farm is on. And finally, one last time, let's turn this farm back on and then make sure that the water is covering up the slime farm. And if that works, then everything is going to plan. Aha! Okay, so this works now. That is awesome. Okay, so so mistakes were made. You really shouldn't leave a mob farm on that has no killing mechanism, and then you really shouldn't stay in the room in which they're congregating. I had a very close call there. Let's see if we can fight our way out of this. and turn this farm off before it gets out of hand. We have a one wide corridor here, and okay, and a sharpness 5 sword, so I think we should be pretty good. Fortunately, the zombies seem to be so distracted by the villagers. Oh man, those creepers. That they're not putting up much of a fight. It's the creepers I'm worried about. Although we don't... Okay, I just need to get out of here a little ways and an ender pearl. Thank you. Kill some of those mobs for me. Guys, okay. Okay, ender pearl. Okay, we're good. And let's shut this off before things get out of hand. And try not to do that again. Alright, so one last thing I want to talk about here, guys, before we wrap things up. This area right here, I have a feeling that this is going to become a bit of a high traffic area. Just because, you know, we got the mob farm here, we got the slime farm down there. I feel like we're going to end up needing to come through here a lot. And one of the things that's really annoying me is whenever I have to go to the other side of this farm, I don't have a good way of getting, you know, to each side. Either got to ender pearl over or climb up this ladder. And so what I want to do is I want to create like a little intersection area down here where we can come down from any other wing and then, you know, kind of travel to the other side. Right now I'm trying to figure out what kind of staircase I want to build here. I was kind of imagining at first like a diagonal staircase coming down from back here somewhere and then going down like that. Of course we're gonna have to use stairs because half slabs are just too gradual. We'll hit our head on the ceiling. But then again, I don't know, maybe I'll take them from the side like this and then just join them. I'm not really sure. I'm going to mess around with this between this episode and the next. You know, I'm going to have to do a lot of trial and error to figure out how I want to build things down here, so I don't really want to do it on camera. I'll just build between this episode and the next, and then we'll see how it turns out and what this area looks like. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, work on a little intersection area. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We still got more stuff to do with slimes and all that. I got an idea now of what I want to do with the slimes, by the way. Kind of a cool idea, but it's going to take us building something else first. So that's how that's going to work out. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And like always, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.